And I only said what they told me. When the doctor was there, and I was in there when the doctor was examining him, and the doctor said that he thought he'd broken his eye.
Fined 10 grand for missing, 10 million for missing the fight. So he didn't spar the way he wanted to spar.
You think underprepared, like for a fight of that magnitude? It is, but
yeah.
We need to hear it so that people can make up, because at the moment, he's getting absolutely rinsed. Yeah. And there's nothing coming back. So what does that tell you?
Well, the thing is, people feel
but what I'm seeing is foolishness. How can you be so stupid? That's street mentality. This is world-class boxing. This is top-level boxing. If you want to bring that stuff to boxing, that's what happens. If you want to bring that mentality to our game,
Daniel Dubois has found himself at the center of growing concern after reports emerged that he was rushed for medical attention following a brutal incident in sparring just days before his scheduled clash with Fabio Wardley. Inside camp sources suggest Dubois absorbed a heavy shot during a high-intensity training session, forcing immediate checks from medical staff as a precaution. While no official fight withdrawal has been announced, the timing of the scare has sparked serious debate about whether his preparation has been disrupted at a critical stage. The situation has quickly escalated beyond a simple gym incident, with questions now surrounding Dubois' physical condition, sharpness, and mental focus heading into one of the most important fights of his career. Reports indicate that a medication was administered.
Probably shouldn't be doing that, right? There he goes again. Now again, I'm no doctor. I don't know, but it does seem like that's a bit of an issue. And of course,
following the checkup, with strict monitoring to ensure it complied with anti-doping regulations and contained nothing from the banned list. That detail alone highlights how serious the moment became behind the scenes, even if publicly both camps continue to maintain confidence. The Wade Concept Analysis team added further intrigue by questioning what they described as another...
Doctor examined him, gave him some medication, but the medication he gave him obviously had to be checked.
...worrying sparring moment for Dubois, suggesting that it may not be an isolated issue. Their assessment raised concerns about repeated incidents in training, hinting that Dubois may be walking a fine line between hard preparation and unnecessary risk. While sparring knockouts are not unheard of in heavyweight camps, the timing so close to fight night has intensified scrutiny. Promoter Frank Warren was quick to step in and downplay panic, confirming that Dubois...
The source is good. The source is good. And so when I'm hearing these things, I'm like, nah. And so it's popping out left, right, and centre. The source is good. And so to me, I just shook my head. And when I'd heard...
Dubois had been evaluated by a doctor and cleared for further observation. Warren emphasized that sparring is part of the process and not meant for public spectacle. However, he also indirectly acknowledged the seriousness of the situation by highlighting the medical protocols involved and the strict checks that followed the incident. From a different angle, Johnny Nelson did not hold back in his criticism, describing the situation as reckless and unnecessary at this stage of
Alexander usually gets dropped in sparring, but he's learning on the job. You'd rather do your mistakes
preparation. He stressed that elite boxing is not a playground for careless mistakes, and that moments like these can derail an entire training camp. Nelson's frustration reflected a broader concern within the boxing community that small errors in sparring can have massive consequences when fighters are operating at world-class level. However, not everyone viewed the incident as alarming. Derek Chisora offered a far more relaxed perspective, explaining that being dropped or caught in sparring is a normal part of...
Look at the fight. Getting dropped once again, it's not the end of the world. People get dropped in fights, still win them. Getting dropped in sparring is what it is. So I mean, you just got to be able to dust off and kind of...
heavyweight development. In his view, these moments serve as learning experiences that help fighters adjust before fight night. Chisora suggested that Dubois may actually benefit from the reminder, as long as he learns and adapts from it. Lawrence Oakley echoed a similar sentiment, arguing that sparring incidents do not define a fighter's readiness. He explained that elite athletes are often caught in training but respond differently once the lights...
was sparring. You know, it's the first time where we consistently had 7 or 8 guys in camp, living in camp, training with him day in, day out. and it made a big difference in the fight. So I think he knows that the way that he's going to improve is time in the gym and also the quality of...
Are on. According to Oakley, what matters most is how quickly a fighter resets mentally, corrects mistakes, and carries those lessons into the ring when it counts. Eddie Hearn also weighed in, focusing more on the structure of Dubois' training environment. He highlighted the importance of consistent, high-level sparring partners and a well-managed camp. In his view,
Remember, I don't see the sense of it. What do you want to go sparring for? Behind closed doors? Let all the fans see it. Do it in a ring, get paid for it. I mean, it's the biggest...
improvement is built over time in the gym, not judged by isolated incidents. Hearn suggested that the key question is whether Dubois' preparation is translating into real fight night confidence. Frank Warren doubled down on his belief that sparring should remain private and not fuel public speculation. He reiterated that what happens behind closed doors is part of preparation, not performance. Yet the reality is that in today's boxing landscape, every gym moment is quickly...
His ability to go in there and believe that he can go and mix it with these guys. This is sparring at the end of the day. But I know for a fact that both guys appreciated each other's work during that.
Dissected and amplified, especially when a major heavyweight fight is approaching. Francis Warren provided further insight into Dubois' camp, describing intense and competitive sparring sessions where Dubois was reportedly sharp, aggressive, and fully engaged with top-level opponents. He emphasized that these rounds were controlled but demanding, designed to push Dubois mentally and physically. According to...
For a reason. When you bring in a sparring partner, they're under orders. And if they're under orders in this particular fight, then these sparring partners have been told under no uncertain terms to go easy. Go through the motions. Don't try and put...
To him, mutual respect exists between fighters in the gym, even during hard exchanges. Duke McKenzie added another layer of analysis by pointing out that sparring is often heavily controlled, with partners working under instructions rather than full competitive freedom. This raises questions about how accurately gym performances reflect real fight conditions. McKenzie suggested that while Dubois may look dominant or vulnerable in sparring,
Depends. Sparring's really for learning, but you can also learn to take someone out. So it's...
True test only comes under fight night pressure. Ade Oladipo focused heavily on Fabio Wardley's rise, highlighting his improved confidence and momentum following key victories, including his win over Joseph Parker. He praised Wardley's ability to handle pressure and still find a way to finish fights strongly. However, he also warned that Wardley's tendency to take clean shots could become a major...
Like in the beginning of my career, back in those early days, so we've done a few rounds and I'm sure he's come on since then, so he's been lucky so far, but I'm looking to take his own.
Major problem against a heavy puncher like Dubois. Oladipo went even further, suggesting Wardley is currently one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the division, potentially second only to Alexander Usyk in terms of form. That assessment only increases the stakes of the upcoming fight, painting it as a genuine 50-50 clash where both men carry knockout threat from the opening bell. Spencer Oliver shifted attention to the
frame with his lead hand, keep the distance, which he does such a good job of. If you move forward, he moves back. You cut an angle, he cuts an angle, right? He just mirrors what you do. And the moment you make a mistake or overcommit, he touches you with the lead hand. That's first line.
Psychological battle, arguing that Dubois' biggest challenge is not physical but mental. He stressed that confidence and composure under pressure will determine whether Dubois succeeds or folds at elite level. According to Oliver, trainer Don Charles has been working intensely on building Dubois' mental resilience to ensure he does not collapse under stress in high-pressure exchanges. Don Charles himself opened up about tension.
Courage, heart, and determination. And his will to win. He's got world-class balls, and he's got a world-class heart. He's a fighting man, and he believes in himself, and he knows that all the time he's in the fight, he can win.
Surrounding his exit from Dubois' camp, explaining that while there was mutual respect, the timing of his departure felt abrupt. He insisted there was no bitterness, but acknowledged that such changes can affect stability in fight preparation, especially during critical training phases. Carl Frock added his trademark blunt analysis, questioning whether Dubois truly possesses elite-level mentality when adversity strikes. While acknowledging his power...
Have you guys ever sparred each other?
Yeah. Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah? How long ago? What are we talking?
7 years, 8 years maybe.
Do you both remember that? Mm-hmm. How did that sparring go? Not that that means anything come fight night's a long time ago, you're a different fighter. How did that go?
I went well, but in the early days you got the better of me.
Yeah?
I'll say that, I've got no problem with that whatsoever.
Do you remember those, Lauren?
Frock's suggested doubts still remain about consistency at the highest level. He also questioned Wardley's experience against elite punchers, arguing that both men still have unanswered questions about durability. Duke McKenzie reinforced the idea that this fight could turn into a violent, explosive heavyweight clash, where both men are likely to stand and trade early. He slightly leaned toward Wardley based on momentum, but emphasized that the fight could end suddenly either way due to...
Fabio Wardley's a world champion now in his own right. And that 5% I'm just talked to you about, he's 5% better now than what he was before he won the title, because that's what it gives you when you win a world title. Now, he's just beaten Joseph Parker, right? And messed him up quite badly. It wasn't an easy fight. It ebbed and flowed for periods in that fight, but ultimately, Wardley got the job done. That's what he does. He gets the job done. Look at his career. Now, he would have improved. And a lot is to be said of Daniel Dubois, because he's got an excellent jab. That was the difference between him and AJ when they fought, was that jab. It was just beautiful. Wardley's got a good jab. And if Wardley's jab has improved since winning that title, then it's about...
to raw punching power on both sides. Ultimately, Daniel Dubois has chosen to embrace a high-risk path, stepping into a dangerous domestic showdown rather than taking a safer rebuilding fight. He has described the bout as a war, showing full confidence in his ability to silence critics and prove himself at elite level. His mindset reflects aggression, ambition, and a refusal to step back from danger. Now the question becomes unavoidable. Is Dubois mentally and physically ready to deliver under the brightest lights? Or will Fabio Wardley's momentum, power, and confidence...
Jesus Christ, man. That's just sensational. Honestly, that is just brutality at its best. I have picked against Fabio 2 or 3 times. I will never pick against him again. That being said, I picked against Dubois a couple of times. I think it's 50-50, and this isn't fencing, because I 51-49 Fabio. Fabio can crack, unlike any heavyweight I think right now in the division, but he takes a lot of punishment. Like, we've seen it, and I don't think you can take that type of punishment early from Dubois. But it's a tremendous fight. And look, if it does happen, credit to both. Credit to Dubois. To do Usyk, Miller, Hrgovic, AJ, Usyk, Wardley is better than any run minus Usyk in the heavyweight division. And, by the way, Parker was supposed to be squeezed in there as well.
Prove too much to handle? Both fighters carry doubts and strengths in equal measure, and both believe they will emerge victorious. One thing is certain, when the bell rings, there will be no hiding, only answers,